telling me that I got to work on these speeches because our goal is to go out and go around the country and teach the world about the values of martial arts. So I have this speech that I wrote down called Adversity Births Opportunity, because my life is about adversity. And what you've seen with all of them tonight is about overcoming adversity. But when I was home, because I just believe God hits me at a certain time, and I just try to listen to God, and I try to do what God's saying, because I'm not intelligent enough to even take responsibility for what we see here today. I'm not that smart. That's why our creed say, about the universal creator guides us all. And everything that I try to do with each and every one of you is make you better than me. And that is just by listening to my creator. So when I was home, because we have one black belt who always, every time I would speak, he would always say, bring out the tissues. His name is Mr. Harris. Because I'm always going to cry. And I'm trying to talk without crying. But when I was home and I was, just thinking, something came to me and it's like, why do I cry? Well, I cry because all that I do is for my mother. I cry because these dreams were her dreams. I cry for every little kid that was in that neighborhood that didn't make it out, that was just like me. I cry for the first Bruce Lee movie that changed my life and made me see me, but not Bruce Lee. I cry for my dad who did his very best to be a good dad, but he only had what he had. And he probably thought it wasn't good enough, but it was good enough to make me who I am today. I cry because I want to leave a legacy for him, and for her, and for all my kids. Because without my instructors, I would not know how to be a man. On my way calling him my instructor, she called me from the film festival. Well, I called Tim because I wanted to say to Master Brown, thank you for the movie, and thank you for all you have done. And I called my instructor, and he said, thank you for even remembering to call me and say thank you. So I cry because he knows how much I love him. I cry because as I told him, I'm glad that you took the keys from me from the dojo and said I wasn't mature enough. I cry for the time that he told me to read my own resume because I don't understand what God has given me. I cry for every time Master Brown said, you have the power to change the world, but you use it to sell drugs. I cried for the jail cell when I was locked down 23 hours and came out one. I dropped down to God and I said, if you change my life today, I will never abandon you. I cried to let God know that I want to do your work because I want my mom to know wherever you at right now, every breath that I take each and every day, in every school, in every home, in every article, in every book is for Martha Virginia Johnson, because if she was alive right now, she would be sitting right here. I am not the man that I am without the path that my parents laid for me. It don't matter if we was in the ghetto, in the ocean. The values that they taught me don't come from martial arts. It comes from my mom and my dad, who told me to always say, thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. And those are the things that's missing in our society today. I cry because it's hard to do that. Because when people cut me off, I want to punch you in the mouth. But I realize that I can't do that because I don't want to go back to where I used to be. So I cry because I fight hard to stay strong. I cry because I know I have to be a living example, and a walking example, and a breathing example for every little kid. I cry for Mr. Glover because at one time I abandoned him as my black belt. And I walked away, and I let them all down. And I promised God that I will never, ever let a black belt down again. And look how the Creator blessed me. I remember the day where I had to go to a courthouse and stand up and be a dad when I didn't know how to be a dad, to grab this man and walk and not knowing how he was going to pay rent. I cry because I'm so appreciative of working all the self-defense techniques on him as we were going to a tournament. I cry because when he was coming up in this school, I beat him down. I did everything that I did to not be a good emotional dad for him, because I didn't want you to judge me and think I was showing my son favoritism. But I cry because I'm proud because what I did for him made him a better person. And I cry because I will never neglect that opportunity to give him my love and my expression of how much I love him. And I cry because my son showed me how to become a better dad. I don't know how that cry came about, but I'm proud to cry. And then I'm going to cry for the rest of my life. Because they're tears of happiness. I cried for you today because I hit you. Because I want you to be a better man. When you leave me, it's not about a black belt. It's about being a young man that stands up and changes the world. Each and every one of you. When you walk in, I don't care what nobody say. I know that you are a strong, powerful woman. I don't care what nobody says. It's not about a kid. It's about the woman that we see get through all that stuff out there. It's about this man. Last year, you fell down out there on that floor, on that ground, and I had to grab you. And all I said, don't fall down today, because I ain't catching you. Somebody else caught you, but you didn't have to fall down. You stood up. I cried because this young man right here is my third eye. He's the breath of my life. When I wake up in the morning, I look in his eyes. And when I go to sleep at night and I kiss him, I'm so blessed and so thankful for having a great wife that gave me a great son, that in return made me be a great dad to this man here. Think about Adam, where he has so much talent, and you don't know each and every one of them Notre Dame's boys, you're getting that black belt tonight, because they really failed. And I told him, you're not going to get your black belt. But you know what? Like my instructor, he told me, if I give you tough love, then you'll grow up and be a man. Because in that jail cell, when nobody else was around, the teacher did come. There's a little saying, when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. But it ain't a physical person. It's a spiritual being. It's all the lessons that you learn in life. And when you're all alone, you and God will find out where you go from here. And that one day after that test on Saturday, that young man brought me to tears. Because I know he has the potential to be one of the greatest martial artists and greatest men on this planet. When I heard him say, let's go, mommy, let's go, money. I mean, go, money. I mean, somebody give me some money. Let's go, mommy, let's go, mommy. That made it touch my heart. You know, when I said it, even when I said it to Amari's mom, I wish my mom would have had the chance to see this. But she didn't. But I know that she died so she can see it, because when she died, she made me grow up and become a man. If she was still here, I would be mommy's boy. So I accept that today. So for you to do that for me, you're doing what I wish I could have did with my mommy. So I thank you for that. I'm so proud of what this mom did right here. She was out there all day, staying away from her own baby, but doing what she can do to push her, because she knows she got to get ready, because I'm going to beat her down next year. That's just an inside joke, but I'm for real though. But to see Naeem go through that, and then see Naeem step up and push. But you know what's so special too? He choked out Enrique, and Enrique laid there on that mat. And I said, Mr. Marco, get Enrique off the floor. But then I turned back around, and where was Enrique at? Back on the floor fighting again. So I already see how he's changing as a young man. That's what this is about. So I thank you for having the spirit to step up. Mr. Douglas, for all those times you was doing those cannonballs and quitting, and we had to start over, and start over, and start over. But when I heard you yell, and I heard you scream, I said, that's what it's about. And that's what I told your mommy and your daddy. I'm glad that they didn't show up, because today what you did out there to push to the next level, can't nobody take that from you, not even me. So I'm proud of what you did. Screaming all day. But through all those screams, the word quit never came out your mouth. If you got to scream it out, and if you got to shout it out, as long as you don't quit and you keep doing what you're doing, you make us proud. And I know your mommy and daddy is proud of you. And I know when you and your brother looked at each other side by side, it was the greatest motivation in the world. So I'm proud of you. Without a great woman like this, without a great wife like that tolerates my 3 a.m. in the morning when I wake up, because that's how I wake up every day. I have this little saying, if I was able to wake up at 3 o'clock and sell drugs, why can't I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and work for God? So I wake up 3 o'clock every morning without an alarm clock, so I can prepare to make the world a better place for everybody that I touch. But it takes a good wife to tolerate that. I just got to get back up and wake up and go to school. proud of how, and all of you parents around here can see that I believe that these families start to become a man. A young man. And when he just did that weapon, and even for my wife too, when I seen him do that for him, I wasn't impressed with the weapon. I was watching like he was going to be huffing and puffing when he walked over there. And he wasn't. He was just ready to go. Because I kill him every morning. Right, baby? And I watched Miss Kimber the same thing. She wasn't up. So I'm proud of how their overall fitness has improved. So I say to you once again in closing, thank you for giving the BAMs the opportunity to change your kids' life. Thank you for believing in my mom's dream, which I'm just trying to carry on for a legacy. So I thank you. So that's why I cry, because I love each and every one of you. Thank you.